We know the problem, but we don't know when they'll happen or where. We don't know how to stop it. So while police chase these criminals using evidence to track them, one Louisville man is focused on people like you who might want to be prepared when they learn the answers to where and when. Okay. So you redirect, bottom,
grab it.
bang, 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 like that.
That's it.
Inside the Mid-City Mall off Bardstown Road, Rough Hands owner Jesse Walker is preparing for his favorite seminar to instruct. He's a self-defense expert, focusing on stressful situations, mass shootings, attempted assaults, carjackings.
Compliance works. Often, not always. But there are times where fighting is appropriate.
Just like law enforcement said, comply and hand over your car or your property. But Jesse also recognizes situations where just handing over the keys isn't an option.
I'm not letting that person drive away with my kid. So that is a very hard line for me. And that's one of the things we talk about. My criteria and my lines, my red lines may be different than yours. That's not stuff that you need to figure out the day of. You need to be thinking about, okay, what am I willing to fight for? What am I willing to not fight for?
In his carjacking prevention seminar, Walker creates high-stress scenarios complete with a gun in your face to help create the muscle memory to react and fight if one of your hard lines is crossed.
Most of us as citizens can't stop carjacking, right? We don't really have any power. We don't have any levers to pull to be like, stop this, make these numbers go down. But we do have control over ourselves and our own training, so that even though we don't necessarily reduce the chances of it happening, we are more prepared for it if something were to happen. There's a lot of frustration out in the world, with, the pandemic, locally, the protests. There is a part of me that really empathizes with some of the anger, some of the desperation, but this is not the solution. We're not moving the ball forward by terrorizing everybody with these carjackings.
Through our reporting, we found many of the criminals in these violent, traumatizing incidents are under the age of 18. In 2020, 211 carjackings total. 74 of those cases are closed, and 47 of the people arrested are under the age of 18. In 2021, only 79 cases of the 248 carjackings are cleared, and more than half of those closed cases, 55 arrests, were teenagers. So far in 2022, 72 reported carjackings in Louisville, 27 arrests, 19 of them minors. This is a cold-blooded crime, sparking emotional reactions from law enforcement in our community.
It's shocking to me the number of carjackings that started in 2020. And I think that as a law enforcement officer in the community, we're seeing them so often, and we're very excited that the numbers are going down. But we have a long way to go in trying to reduce the number of carjackings. They're still elevated much higher than what they should be. Our ultimate goal would be have zero carjackings. So we have a long way to go. We have a lot of work to do still.
It is frustrating that a carjacking or stolen vehicle is the foundation or the starting point to these heinous crimes that are being committed afterwards. I think that's one reason that the chief was able to observe the issue with carjackings and see the secondary offenses, and that's why she took the initiative to put us on it and have us focus on those crimes.
It's a good feeling to know that you're actually helping somebody out. Victims that are not victims of their own life choices and circumstances, that these are victims that are out just trying to go day to day, and you're actually helping someone out that is a true victim.
To bring justice to the victims, now they warn, just because you're underage doesn't mean you'll be treated differently. Federal agents are bringing federal carjacking charges, even to some of the younger offenders.
I think the word is getting out that we've started this and we're taking that approach, and people are starting to reconsider their actions because they know what's coming.
The FBI is investigating these cases hand in hand with LMPD, and that there is a chance that you could be charged federally if you're involved in violent carjackings. So in the federal system, there's no probation and there's no parole. So generally, the best that a federal defendant can do is serve, they can get about 15% off their time. So they could serve, at best, they're going to serve up to 85% of whatever their federal sentence is.
We're not going to stand by and stand idle because not only are these kids affecting these victims, my kids are not going to school with some of these offenders. I don't want my kids growing up in that type of community. I don't want other people's kids growing up in that type of community with these type of individuals that do not see a problem with the crimes that they're committing, and that the other detectives in our office, investigators in our office, are not going to stand idle and let cases go on by. That this is our primary focus right now, and that we're not going to stop till we complete the thorough investigation.
The suspects in this story are innocent until proven guilty. To rewatch the story or share it, you can find it on our website, whas11.com. Thanks for joining us for Carjacking, the Crime Catalyst. The special was shot by Ian Lewis and Jessica Farley, edited by Jessica Farley, produced by Michelle Zelli, and written by me, Haley Minogue. We're on your side here at WHAS 11. News at 6 starts right after this break.